Hey everyone, I have a really fun haul to share because this is all stuff I bought at buy-sell trade stores or consignment stores using the store credit I earned from selling them either bins pieces or just old stale inventory that I got tired of trying to sell myself. So yeah, if you are new here, my name is Allie and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Curtsy. And another way I like to flip clothing is by selling to buy-sell trade and consignment stores. Normally I sell to Buffalo Exchange, and if you're curious about that process, I'll link a video I've done right here showing like what I bring to them and what my payout is in both cash and store credit. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop right in. This first piece is a new to me brand. It's Aaliyah, the label, which is an Australian brand. And when I first saw this at Buffalo Exchange, I kind of just like flipped right by it just because it seems like really nicely constructed, but the sequins itself didn't seem to be anything special. But I went ahead and like flipped back and I was like, okay, let me at least look it up. And the dresses retail for anywhere between like $400 and $800. So I went ahead and looked it up on Poshmark, and it seemed like there was like a range of sold comps, but not like a massive range. Like the range was just between like $100 to like $300, so a pretty good range. Like I'd be happy with an amount anywhere in that. And this is new with tags and a really substantial piece. Like I said, it has sequins, kind of this dramatic shoulder detail. I think maybe the bridal collection might do the best. So yeah, Buffalo Exchange had this priced at $27. When I am spending my store credit, I try to buy pieces that are in like the $20 range or maybe low 30s if it's a really special piece, just because I like to stretch my store credit as much as possible. There's other designer items that they have priced higher that I can definitely like make a profit on, but I also don't like selling like super designer things. I prefer maybe like Revolve brands is like kind of the highest tier I like to sell, because I don't like dealing with authentication or anything like that. So I'm super excited to see how this piece does, because I also think it's a really fun piece. I pretty much only look at dresses when I go to consignment stores or buy-sell trade stores, because I feel like they're year-round pieces. This next piece is like a gown. It has like this asymmetric neckline, and it has a very, not a super full skirt, but you know, a more dramatic skirt with a side slit. And it is new with tags from NBD, which is a Revolve brand, and it's probably the Revolve brand that has done the best for me. They had this price at $35, which I gladly paid, because there were other Revolve dresses there. I don't even know if they were new with tags, but they were like gowns that they had priced at least like $55. So I don't know why this one was priced lower. Maybe the buyer, like I know they know this brand because they get a lot of Revolve brands at my Buffalo Exchange. So I don't know why this was priced lower. It didn't seem to have any flaws, but I'm super excited about this piece. It retailed for like $500 on Revolve, and I did look it up. I think there's like a few, maybe like 3 listed on Poshmark right now, but I still think I can get like over 200 hopefully for it. I'll go ahead and like throw up the retail prices of these dresses if I could find them, because I feel like it's really fun to see like how expensive they were. But yeah, next, this is another Revolve piece. It's from the Michael Castello line, and Buffalo Exchange wanted $25 for this, but it was on sale, so an extra 25% off. I think I have seen this before when I was like shopping before, and I passed on it just because, I don't know, it's a jumpsuit, and this is the top part, which I really liked, and the bottom was lace, but it's like a skinny lace, and I was thinking maybe if it was like a flare cut, I would really like to sell that. But I looked up comps, because before I kind of just passed through it, but I went ahead, looked up comps. When I do that, I like take the stuff I'm interested in to the dressing room, so it's easier for me to like look stuff up and like hang it up and use Google Lens. and it seemed like they were selling for a pretty good amount. Like, I like to sell stuff that I can get at least $100 for, and so I think I can get like, you know, over 120 hopefully for this jumpsuit. It'd be like a good piece, I feel like, to wear in the winter time. But yeah, next, I've never picked up this brand before, Jason Wu. I've come across it like a decent amount of times at Buffalo Exchange or other consignment stores, and I've really liked the pieces, but when I look at comps, they're like nowhere near what I want them to be, and it's like kind of sad. Like, the comps are kind of pathetic. But I really liked this dress because it has kind of like this halter neckline here, like it goes like this, and it's a tweed material, and it has this pearl fringe at the bottom, which I thought was so fun. It's like an off-white color, so I think maybe you could also use this for some kind of like bridal event, like maybe a rehearsal dinner or something like that. It was, I don't know if I already said, but Buffalo Exchange had this priced at $35, but it was on sale, so 25% off. So I went ahead and picked it up because I really like this piece and I believe in it. I feel like I can get, I don't know, you would think maybe I'd be able to get over 100 for that. I don't know, I'll probably try and list it at over 100, but I'm thinking maybe just like 80, at least 80 for that. I'm not sure. I normally shop and sell at Buffalo Exchange, but there's another buy sell trade store. It's just like a local one that I sell to, and they're kind of like my last resort, I guess, like the stuff that Buffalo Exchange doesn't buy. And I don't go to them first because I don't like their inventory. It's just a lot of like very basic no-name brands, and the designer stuff, or the stuff I would want to sell myself, they have it priced up like way too high. So yeah, I kind of struggle finding ways to like stretch out my store credit there. But this dress, it's a Veronica Beard dress, 100% silk, and they had a price like really low, like I think in the $20 range, like low 20s even. So I just picked it up. Veronica Beard like clothing doesn't do the best for me. Like, the blazers do the best. Like, you would think like the dress probably retailed for, I don't know, like at least 300 something. But yeah, I feel like I'm only gonna be able to get maybe like 75 for this dress. I would think more, but I don't know, we'll see. I did look it up. There's others listed, not a ton, but just historically with my experience selling Veronica Beard like dresses and stuff, they don't sell like super fast like I would want them to. But yeah, next, this is a vintage piece, which I normally don't do vintage. It's Scala, and it is 100% silk. It's a vintage size XL. I feel like it's more like a medium, but obviously I'll provide measurements, and I'll probably also like try it on to take pictures of me in it, so the buyer can kind of see how it looks, because there are these like mesh sheer panels, which you can't really see when it's like on a hanger. But this is such a beautiful dress. It's so heavy because it's beaded all over, and the beads are intact, in great condition. Like, there weren't any, well, I don't want to say there aren't any missing, but not obvious. And there's no like tears in like the mesh part. It's super pretty. It has a low back. So I think this can be used for like a prom or a winter formal, or just like a black tie wedding, a gala or something. It would be gorgeous. I don't have a ton of experience selling vintage, but I'm super excited to list that piece. I'm hoping for like at least 100 for it, because it is like fully beaded, but we'll see. I'll probably post updates on my Instagram stories when stuff sells, if you're curious. But next, this is a piece I remember getting at Buffalo Exchange. I got this like last week. This stuff doesn't have tags because I've already, like Buffalo Exchange tags, because I've already photographed it. The first few items did because I just got them today. But yeah, this is a Lovers and Friends new with tags formal dress. It's one shoulder, and it has this rosette on the top. It's pretty basic. It's just a black gown, but it does have well, I'd say a pretty high side slit, which is really fun. I think it'd be good for like any kind of formal event, formal wedding, gala, military ball or something. I love like black formal dresses. I think they're pretty versatile. So yeah, I think I said NBD is like my #1 Revolve brand, and then Lovers and Friends I think is like the second bestseller for me. We have another Revolve brand. I love Revolve formal dresses from Buffalo Exchange. This one is from the brand Majoral, which I don't have a ton of experience selling. I think I just sold one more like casual piece before, but this is a really fun dress. This is what the top looks like with the sheer lace panels and some ruffles, and then the bottom has these lace panels as well with some sequins. It's really fun, and I think it's good for like winter time, or like spring would be cool too because of the sequins. It's not new with tags though, so I wouldn't get as much for this as like the new with tags formal dresses, but I definitely think obviously over 100, it is a formal dress. The retail price was probably super duper high. So yeah, next, this brand I feel like I heard about from Riley over at Ryle's Thrifted. It's Hillhouse, and this is the Ellie Knapp dress in Burgundy Botanical, and I found this at a Buffalo Exchange. I looked it up. There were others listed. However, I don't think any in a 2XL, and that when you like filtered the sold listings for a 2XL, they were higher than like the smaller sizes. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get on the higher end of comps for this dress. I think the silhouette is kind of like a spring silhouette with like the smocking and the tiered ruffles, but I think the color is very fall and winter. So I hope it sells for this season. But I might still have it in the spring. I'm not sure. This next dress might look familiar because I've bought it before. I bought it at the same Buffalo Exchange I found it, and I featured it in like a little reel, like an Instagram reel and a TikTok, because it was like one of my highest sales of that month. It's this Lovers and Friends dress from Revolve. The tag is cut. And it's this tweed material, and it has this rosette belt on it, which is super fun. It's super cute, and I think I sold that dress for like 145 maybe, or maybe more. I don't remember how much I sold it for, but my profit like after the Poshmark fees was like over 100, so definitely over 100. So that means I sold it for over $125 on Poshmark, and it sold really fast. Got a ton of attention on both Poshmark and Curtsy, so I'm so excited to have that again. Yeah, next, this piece I also found at that buy sell trade store that I have trouble finding stuff that I want to sell myself, but it's this super fun heart blazer from Zadig and Voltaire, and they clearly didn't do their research because they just had this price at like what they would price a Target blazer at. So I gladly scooped this up. It's in great condition, super fun, and it's a good size too. I'm not sure like what season this would sell best in. Like, I don't know, it's giving Valentine's, also kind of like Cruella de Vil. So I don't know. I think, you know, obviously for all these pieces the retail is high. I think I should be able to get like over, I mean for all these pieces, like I said, hopefully over 100, but I think like 145 maybe for it. And then at that same buy sell trade store, they like tend to price Lululemon leggings at like $50, even if they're like an old pair of Wonder Unders. But I think they've kind of calmed down on their Lululemon pricing because no one was buying it, you know? And so these, I think they were like maybe at most 25. They were probably they were in like the $20 range. And I normally don't pick up Lululemon, but these are Lululemon, and let me tell you why I picked them up. For one, they are the Align joggers. So the Align fabric is very popular, Align leggings, very popular. These are just jogger style, and they're also a newer style. I forget what year they're from, but I think just like maybe like 2 years ago, and they're size 16. And which is like on the higher end of Lululemon sizing. And I think when I filtered like these joggers, they were selling for at least $45, but when I like took out a line jogger and I just put in Lululemon joggers in a size 16, they were like maybe like a few listed, and they weren't even in like good condition. So I think I'll be able to get like I'll probably price these at maybe $65, and hopefully I can profit at least $50 on these. And I think that's a very doable ask. But yeah, next, this is a little dress from Danielle Guizo, kind of like a streetwear brand. It's kind of been hit or miss for me in the past with pieces. Like I had a piece I thought was really fun. They were a pair of pants, and they were like a good style too, but I just could not sell them, so I just ended up selling them to Buffalo Exchange. But this dress seemed to be promising because it was doing well on Poshmark, and this is a style that was sold on Revolve. It's like this mesh mini dress with this crochet detail. I was actually kind of surprised at how well it was doing on Poshmark. It's not new with tags, and it's a pretty like basic little dress, but I still think I can get like $75 for it. So yeah, last clothing item. This is a dress from House of CB. It is new with tags. It's the Indra dress, size large. And House of CB can be hit or miss because sometimes there's like a ton of listings on Poshmark of a particular style. And I think there were a few listed of this style, maybe even the size. But I think it's okay because there weren't a ton, and the sold comps seem to still be doing pretty well. It's kind of has a lot going on. It has a like structured corset under it, but you can't really tell because of like this draped detail in the front. It's kind of like a off the shoulder, and then it has like a cinch ruching here in the front, and then the back is also ruched. But I think it's a good color for fall and winter. And if I was like the only one selling this dress, I would say over $200 for it, but I'm not. I think at least like $150 to $180 for this dress. But yeah, I do really like selling House of CB because my stuff always gets a ton of likes on Poshmark. So yeah, but last item in this haul is actually a pair of shoes. And I normally don't look at the shoes at Buffalo Exchange or anything, kind of because it's also kind of inconvenient because the shoes, like, they're kind of just all over the store. And, you know, if you want to look at the price, you have to like pick up the shoe, look at the bottom. And I also just I'm not a big shoe seller because I guess I just don't like storing shoes. But I saw these shoes at the local buy-sell trade that I go to, and I thought they were so fun. They're these like snake embossed suede booties, and they have this silver toe on them. I just thought they were super fun and good for fall. They're kind of like Western vibes, but not like if you don't want to wear cowboy boots, but you still kind of want to have that Western feel. I feel like these are good for it. And I don't think you'll be able to see the label, but it's a Jeffrey Campbell Free People collab. But I went ahead and looked these up when I was like deciding if I wanted to buy them or not. And I think like the Consignment store had them maybe at like 50 or something. And I was like, oh, like I don't know if I want to spend that much store credit on it. But because they're a smaller size. They're size 5.5, I think. And when I was like debating if I was gonna get them, I tried looking them up, and I looked like really hard, like on Poshmark and just on Google, and there wasn't like, I couldn't find a stock photo or like the name really of these boots. But I do know like they're not fake because there was other people selling this style of boots, but they also just listed them as like a generic name. Like it was just like Free People, Jeffrey Campbell, Snake Booty. Like it wasn't like a name. They didn't have a stock photo. And so I feel like since there's not many listed, these should do pretty well. I'm hoping for maybe like $150 for these. They are the real suede. Like I said, they are a smaller size though, so I think that will be what hurts them. But I am very excited to list these because I love these boots. I wish they were my size so I could wear them like once. But yeah, that's it. That's my haul. Hopefully you enjoyed. I had a really fun time getting all these pieces at Buffalo Exchange. If I could only sell like Revolve formal dresses, I would. But yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.